what's going on YouTube? This is your boy HypeDoWn, and today I'm here to explain my spec that I use in duels, explain what I'm doing in the duels so you guys can follow it a little bit better. I mean, I've been in my YouTube inbox, in my Facebook inbox, in-game messaging. I've been getting a lot of traffic, as you would say, on just questions about how I'm doing this, how I'm doing that. A couple of people playing on PTR and they're having questions about things they've heard me say, things they see me do, and they're just confused. But hopefully after this video you will understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I already went over my talents and I went over this build a few times, so I'm just going to get into the mechanics. But this is what I'm using, guys, and pretty much if you guys were on the beta and you guys had a chance to play around everything, you would know what this stuff does. If you do not, I'd advise for you to watch my my BG video, because I explain this stuff, my talent video, and I also explain this stuff there. But let me just explain briefly on one thing that I'm using that I did not use. I use this pretty much to get me more resource utility to get runes back, okay? Because there's certain times where you become rune starved, and popping the festering wounds will give you a rune back, and it kind of acts like a blood tap. So I like this, so that's why I have that. And this pretty much gives you a reward. It gives you festering wound utilities to get more festering wounds faster, and when you're trying to pop them with scourge strikes, you can pop 2 instead of 1, so which also increases your scourge strikes damage. So that's why I like this. And also, if you're using this along with necrosis, and you got this ability in your sword as well, pretty much this is the same as necrosis, but this one increases it by 50%, the other one increases it by 25%. So potentially you can have 75% extra damage on a scourge strike, but this one's a chance. Necrosis is guaranteed, so keep that in mind. So as a Death Knight, guys, you do not want to go out there death coil, death coil, death coil, death coil when you have nothing to do. You want to do maybe 1 or 2 if you want just to get some damage out, but ultimately you want to use death coil and then a scourge strike, death coil and then a scourge strike, death coil and then a scourge strike. Why? Because 1 death coil, 25% damage on a scourge strike. But then if you do death coil, it's not going to stack. So you want to do a death coil scourge strike so you can get that damage on the ability that you're using. Okay, that's why. And then also, you don't want to, if you use this death coil, you're guaranteed to get this. And if you pay attention to, if you get that as well, you're going to have a big ass scourge strike. So you really want to pay attention to these two if you're using both of them, okay? But I don't know, I'll play around with them both. Actually, I like having wounds on the target, and I'll explain why in a second. But okay, that's my build, and this is pretty much, this is the only 2 different things that I have. So let's get into the mechanics, alright? So pretty much what you're going to be doing as a Unholy DK is you first want to apply your dots. Now we have Ebb and Fever, guys, so the dots are going to be taken hard and they're going to drop off the target faster. Okay, so after I apply the dots, guys, I'm going to go up to the target and do a few festering strikes. Now the festering strikes are going to do is they're going to get my target to 8 festering wounds. Now you see that he's at 8 festering wounds. He has no dots. I'm going to put the dots back on him. Now from this point, guys, I will use Apocalypse. Okay, now Apocalypse is going to pop all 8 of those wounds. It's going away, so let me use it. Boom. So now when I pop that does a lot of fucking damage. It's like a big ton of damage. Now I got all these things out there attacking. Now I got all this runic power. So either I'll do another Outbreak to put my dots back on, or a Scourge Strike. Okay, now that I'm at full runic power, guys, I then pop Arbiter. Then I do Death Strikes, because Death Strike does the most runic power dumps. So now I'm using all my runes to get as much runic power as possible, so my Arbiter can do the most damage as possible for the short duration that it's out. That's pretty much it, and that's why the duels end so fast. You don't see this because it's dumb fast. I mean, I just slowed it down for you, but when I'm doing it, okay, it's like, okay, Outbreak, then it's like, you know, boom, Scourge, boom, Scourge. And now if my Apocalypse was off cooldown, I would pop it, but it's on cooldown. So I mean, I'm at 6 wounds, so like I said, I want 8. So Go ahead and put it at 8. Now from this point, like I said, I will pop the wounds. Now from this point, like I said, I'll start getting some distance. I'll start using some outbreaks, and I will use outbreaks because this is pretty much the only attack besides Death and Decay that I have for range. But the reason why I want to use my outbreak is because it's going to keep my target slow. And not only is it going to keep my target slow, but it's also going to deal damage every time I use it. So this is pretty much another death coil. See, watch. I'm going to pop outbreak and watch the damage it does. Boom. You see the damage that outbreak's doing? So don't sleep on outbreak, guys. Outbreak, it sounds funny that I'm saying outbreak, 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 but it's a different move. They should have changed the damn name. They should have just took it out the game and named it something else. They could have kept the icon, but this is what's confusing players. You know, people are saying, hey, why are you using outbreak? Outbreak, what is it doing? Why are you doing it? It's because outbreak's not the same attack. It's kind of like how they changed Unholy Blight. Back in the day, I think on Wraith of the Lynch King, there was a talent called Unholy Blight. And what Unholy Blight was back in the day was if you're throwing a death coil, Unholy Blight would get on the target, and then it'll make your dots undispellable. But now, players that just come into the game on, I think, Mop, and Unholy Blight was in the game, and there was this swarm of flies that just applied your dots. That's what Unholy Blight is to them, but back in the day, it was something different. So I think that instead of them doing things like that and confusing players that are coming back to the game, they should just change the name of these abilities, because it's going to be confusing no matter what. But anyway, that's why I use Outbreak, guys, because like I said again, it does damage, it reapplies my dots, it keeps them slow. And again, it's my only range attack. I don't have Icy Touch anymore, guys. I don't have Blood Boil anymore, guys. So I want to use Outbreak because it's doing damage, it's applying the dots, and also it's providing me with the runic power. It's still giving me the 10 runic power, so that's why we do it. And again, you can Death Coil. Death Coil, you get up on the target, you can do some score strikes, but the main goal is when you see yourself at wounds, at 8, you don't want to do Festering Strike anymore. You want to start Scourge Striking to pop them, okay? You want to do the Apocalypse to pop all of them. That's your biggest damage attack, is when you have all those wounds on the target and you pop them, okay? And that's pretty much it, guys. Like, and you just rinse, repeat that. Keeping dots up, getting your wounds up, popping wounds, managing your runic power. You see, I'm full. Festering Strike. Death Coil, Score Strike. Death Coil, Score Strike. Reapply the dots. Festering Strike. Festering Strike. Kite a little bit. Death Coil. I'm just going to do 2 Death Coils. Death and Decay. Now Score Strike. Now we're going to just keep bursting wounds right now. And that's pretty much it, guys. And if you're patient and you just watch yourself hit the targets, you have a little buddy, tell him, hey, can I hit you for a second? Program your damage output, because that's what it's all about. The only way you're going to get familiar with the new class is if you have somebody that's going to allow you to test. So that way you can know your damage output, know how much you're going to be doing, get used to knowing what you're going to do with procs, without procs, with Apocalypse, without Apocalypse, with your Arbiter, without Arbiter, and then get used to taking damage. Have somebody burst you down. Practice your defense, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be just fine. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I've been doing. And again, now that I have my cooldowns back, I'm going to do this one more time in full motion. And then you guys can go ahead and have a hack out of yourself, alright? So, let's do this. And then we're going to be getting out of here. So, Outbreak. Festering Strike. Festering Strike. I'm not at 8, but I don't care. I'm going to wait. Now I'm at 8 because of my pet, okay? So I'm going to pop the ghoul. I'm going to pop the shit. I'm going to use Outbreak again. Score Strike. Score Strike. Pop Arbiter. Now I'm going to do Death Strike. Death Strike. Score Strike. Death Strike. Festering. Festering. Death Strike. And I got a couple more seconds for a couple more attacks with my Arbiter. And just look how much damage it does. I mean, honestly, it's over. The fight's fucking over. Like, there's no one's healing through that. No one has the ability but a Blood DK and a Prop Paladin to heal that. It's too much fucking damage. And that's pretty much it, guys. I forgot one thing, though. You're supposed to transform your goal to, you can leap. You can stun. I forgot to show you that. But like, yeah, if you watch my fights, if you watch my duels, you'll see me transforming my gold ASAP, stunning them ASAP, so I can be on them. I can look at how much wounds I got. If I don't have 8, I'm gonna kite until my pet get the 8-1 on them. And sometimes you see me way out here before I use Apocalypse, because the amount of time it's gonna take for him to get to me, he's probably gonna have 60% health. Then I fucking pop Apocalypse, and he's already dead. Because you're forgetting that my ghoul's going to be doing a lot of damage. My dot's going to be doing a lot of damage. I'm going to be spamming Outbreak, which is also like doing Death Coil. Then I'm going to use a Death Coil, and he's just going to be dying coming to me. It's like Singed from League of Legends. You're chasing me, but you're dying in the process. Then these guys are like, wait, shit, now what? Do I chase them? Do I stop and heal? Do I run away and heal? But if they run away and heal, it's going to benefit even more, because then I can Wraith Walk, and then I can get some. It's really beautiful. Like kiting is really good for the Death Knight. You don't need to do it, but that's why you want to do it. It's because the spacing between me doing these Festering Strikes and then me popping these wounds, and then me applying my dots back on, doing a Score Strike, and then just spamming some fucking Outbreaks. He's gonna have trouble catching me, and by the time like I said, by the time he does catch me, he's dead. That's it. So it's combining melee with range, and that's pretty much why I'm using what I'm using. Because if I do get caught, I got some good utility for me to bang. I can apply my festering wounds faster. So then when I do Score Strikes, I can have a chance to pop 2 instead of 1 to create more damage. When I use one Death Coil with, and I'm aware of my talent with my sword. If I use one Death Coil, I get one. I have a chance to get 50% more on the Score Strike. So it's these little things you got to think about with the class. Now all this shit is all passive abilities, so you kind of really don't need to pay attention to this stuff. I mean, this is just, they're good to know. Death Grip, they're going to be slow. It increases the effectiveness of your anti-magic shell and icebound fortitude. Like, this is all passive shit. You now have two stacks on your Sudden Doom. You have a chance when your attacks to summon somebody that explodes and does 35,000 damage. Like, this is shit that is going to happen whether you know about it or not. Like I said, it's good to know it. But again, look, you got a chance to generate more rune, generate a rune on a Score Strike. You know what I'm saying? So these you don't really have to pay attention to, but like I said, this is where you get Apocalypse from for those who don't know where to get it. And again, just pay attention to your abilities, pay attention to your score, your Death Coils. Don't just go out there and truck them. And remember, you pretty much can kill somebody with your Arbiter. You don't even have to really do much to them. Like, once you get your Arbiter out and you properly dump Death Coils like you just see me do, you'll kill them no matter what anyway. And that's what happens in the video. So now when you go back and watch what I'm doing in my dueling montages, you'll see why I'm winning so fast. It's because of what I'm showing you now. But alright, that's enough blab, guys. I'm going to try to do my best to get another dueling montage up for you soon. It's been a busy week for me, but I'm trying to do what I can to get these videos up for you. But as always, thank you for wow. But as always, it's late, guys. It's 11:38. So, but as always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, refer me to some friends, and please continue to be a fantastic audience. Guys, if you have any questions about anything that you've seen in the video, please feel free to ask, because as you know, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Alright? This is your boy HypeDoWn, and I'll see you next time. Peace.